Welcome to Elfluential. I'm Elle Salagaris, and welcome to the podcast where we go behind the scenes of life, relationships, beauty, and everything in between. Join me as we get a little bit bougie, talk with people I can't wait for you to meet, and share some fun and laughs together. Coming up on this episode,
those 2.5% of freaks out there that gain muscle at a rate that is almost close to somebody who's enhanced.
Right.
And then there's 2.5% of people who have unfortunately chosen the wrong parents.
Let's jump into it. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Elfluential. So today we are in the other studio because we have a very special guest. You're meeting another era of mine. So this is my Fitfluencer era, Elle, that we're meeting. So I've got my not personal trainer, but my coach. Coach, this is Amer. Amer, say hi.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I just for everyone to know, like personal trainer, like I just say personal trainer to make it easy, but you're not actually a personal trainer. You are a coach.
Yeah. No, we're also like a personal trainer by default as well because we do the certification, but I see coach somebody more like a mentor, has more experience and can guide you through, anybody can do the course and call themselves a personal trainer. I coach is somebody who's more experienced and actually can guide you along the whole process and can relate to you a lot better.
Yeah. And you do take people to competition and everything like that.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That's what our gym is known for. So
and winners. So we go to it's Adonis gym in Paddington, and I get a lot of questions about kind of my strength training journey and my fitness journey and everything, and like all kinds of like diet, everything. So we're going to get into that and answer everything about that today.
Where do we even start? Like we have so much shit to cover.
So I used to be just a prolific kind of Pilates girly, like Barry's. I did Barry's for a long time. I've never really properly worked out before ever in my life. Like I'm not really just like, you know me, like I had absolutely zero muscle, like nothing. Like I've had 3 babies kind of back to back.
It's actually kind of crazy to see how much you've changed in 8 months, 9 months?
Yeah, it's been, we started working out September last year. So it's nearly been a year.
Yeah.
But I think I was probably at the height of my fitness in like April.
Prior to Leo season.
Yeah. Amer hates Leo season. Him and my husband are both like ready to you're ready for it to be over.
Yeah. So what was it like the first time you stepped into Adonis? Like coming from a Pilates background, it must have been like so radically different for you.
Terrified.
Yeah. That's most people's first impression of the gym.
Literally like this gym, we show it in the BTS. It's like a full powerlifting gym. It has the most random people in it ever. There's like that 90-year-old man. You walk on one side, there's a 90-year-old man. He's deadlifting like 100 kilos. There's this this fitness influence, not this fitness influencer, this male influencer who was like, do you remember I showed him to? And he was like, let me train you, like blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, shut the fuck. He's like, your technique's wrong. And we were making fun of him. And I was like, well, how much do you deadlift normally? And he was like, like 100 kilos.
Oh my God. Yeah. We have 90-year-old men that deadlift.
We have 90-year-old men who can deadlift 100 kilos.
I coach a 16-year-old girl who weighs about 57 kilos. She deadlifts over 130 kilos.
Holy
shit. That's 16-year-olds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think even the smallest and the youngest person in my gym is probably stronger than the average person.
Than these giant steroid men. So Amer is fully natural. Yes. He doesn't do steroids. He swears to Allah.
If it's any consolidation, I compete in a drug-tested sport.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we know that for a fact. Yeah. So if he wants to flex his little muscles over there, show us. Oh.
I mean, there's no pump right now.
What do they say? All natty? Is it called natty?
Natty, yeah.
Natty.
We refer to it as natty. Lifetime natural. So, yeah.
Lifetime natural.
Yeah.
Well, samesies. Oh my God, you guys wouldn't know that a lot of female influencers actually take female steroids.
Especially if you've been to the fitness expo.
Yeah.
Actually, because I do coach a girl who has competed in bodybuilding and she used to be an IFBB judge.
Yeah.
And so I know for a fact that especially in contest preparation, a lot of them take all kinds of shit, and I don't want to mention anything or any names, but yes, there's a lot of popular, let's say, female trainers out there who are in fact enhanced, and they might not be they might be at the gyms that you wouldn't expect them, to be at. Your Fitness First, your Anytime Fitness, we're just talking about average trainers.
We have really big beef with Anytime Fitness.
No, I don't want to talk shit to Anytime Fitness.
No, it's a joke because our gym is next. Our gym is next to Anytime Fitness.
Yeah. We have like this running joke. Like our motto of our gym is where the strong belong. It almost implies that everybody else is weak. So, which I find. And then we're right next to Anytime. So I just find it really funny. Like, I don't mean to say anything bad to them, but yeah, it's just pretty funny. It's all said in jest. So
bringing it all the way back. So yeah, I used to only really was doing Barry's for a long time, I think. And I did Hell Week, which is like 7 days in a row of Barry's. And I was like so determined to make it to Hell Week.
Is that an actual thing? Is that a program?
You go 7 days in a row and it's called Hell Week.
Jesus.
And you win like a bag and a little badge and stuff. And like on the 7th day, I was so violently hungover. I'd been like up all night, and I still made it. So, but Barry's is basically just like killing yourself for like an hour. And it's like even Pilates is good. And like, I think we get a lot of flack for like, Amer loves to hate on Pilates. I do still really like Pilates, but I do think you need more than just Pilates.
I think I just don't like how it's marketed. I think most people assume that they're going to get strong by doing Pilates, but at the end of the day, you can't beat the basics. You must do basic strength training with the basic foundation movements and just do that basically for as long as you can. That's it. Like, it's honestly, the answer is very simple. Pilates has its place. It gets people to move, feeling better. That's fantastic. But strength training is how you get stronger. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought, strength training makes you stronger. So I would say stick with your basics and understand, like, they each have their place. But if you want to get strong, you want to build muscle, that is where strength training comes in.
A lot of girls now are kind of moving to strength training, like what, 3 days a week, and then you do Pilates like 1 day a week, and then you have your 2 rest days. That's where, and doing lots of walking as well. Like that's a big thing as well.
Well, I think a very important point to touch on is like the vast majority of people don't even meet the basic guidelines for fitness and just health standards. Like most people, so the basic requirements is to strength train minimum twice a week. And
for the average person?
For the average person. Just the average person. Minimum twice a week of weight training. And then obviously about 3 to 5 hours of moderate to vigorous physical activity, which most people don't do.
Wow.
So you might consider Pilates very difficult, especially if you do like the more advanced class and that sort of stuff. But where is the strength training? How about, did we just forget about the, the strength training recommendations that... you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. And now another important point is we should make the barrier of entry as low as possible. So what I feel happens in the industry way too much and really pisses me off is that a lot of people say movement, they say quality over quantity, which I understand, but in my opinion is negligent for most people because most people just quite simply don't do enough.
Right.
Most people just
Do you mean quantity over quality?
Yes, I'm saying most people need to actually get it the other way around to start.
Yeah.
To start because they don't even meet the basic guidelines.
Yeah.
Most people just need to get their ass to the gym and move more and get stronger before worrying about anything else.
Yes.
And I think an overemphasis on quality means that most people are just afraid.
Are you talking about like technique?
Yes, I'm talking about technique. I'm talking about these entry requirements. Oh, you must be able to have 90 degrees of external rotation, blah, 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 before you low bar squat, before you do this, before you do that. Otherwise, you're going to get injured. So there's all these entry requirements and people need to just get into the fucking gym. So throwing your head back or having your head up on a squat or on a deadlift, a lot of people are so worried about, your neck.
You need to have a neutral
spine.
neck.
I'm like, listen, first of all, if you are so worried about your neck, why don't you just train your neck? Have you ever thought about that?
He does neck exercises.
I train my neck all the fucking time. Neck striations. But look, wrestlers have been training their neck for centuries. Rugby players train their neck. If you're so worried about your neck, just fucking train it. If you feel better and are stronger with your head up, keep your head up. If you feel stronger and better with your head down, keep your head down. Simple, isn't it? Fuck.
And my PB deadlift, I think did I do 80 for one? Yeah, 80.
80 kilos.
I weigh for what? Like 46?
Almost double your body weight.
Weigh 46 now. Yeah, almost double my body weight. Head up. And I've never had, like, my neck's
no belt,
completely
by the way.
fine. No belt.
No belt.
I don't use a belt.
I'm just saying no belt.
I don't want to use a belt because I'm worried. Like, we don't use a belt because I don't want to. Apparently, does it make you bigger?
So basically, my thought process on this is when you use a belt, you actually increase your abdominal engagement. So for some people, the abs will hypertrophy quite a lot and you get quote unquote blocky thick abs, which you might have seen from a lot of strength athletes. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. The abs actually hypertrophy, but if that's not the look you're going for, suggestion is just, no belts.
That's why Amer is such a good coach, because he really will like look at you and kind of study like every little bit about your body and be like, okay, for me, we know that my quads don't develop as fast as other things. So we put extra work into the quads. You'll look at what I'm trying to achieve, like what body type I'm trying to achieve. So like we don't use the belt because I don't want to be blocky. We want to keep everything slim. There's this huge misconception that like if we want to get into more misconceptions and like busting myths is that weight training makes you bulky.
Oh my God. I mean, like, do I look fat to you?
Do I look that?
You're fucking shredded.
Yeah, like, and I weight train now 3 times a week. Yeah, and it doesn't make you bulky. It all comes down to diet.
You have 2 options in the gym. Like you can either gain muscle or you can gain fat. Those are the two options you have. It's important to know that all muscle tissue is lean tissue. There's no bulk muscle, this muscle, that. All muscle tissue is lean. So if you want to be more toned and leaner and etc., you actually want more of your body composition to come from muscle than you do fat. If you want to be bigger, you eat more. Yeah. If you don't want to be bigger, don't eat more.
Yeah, it's basically a caloric surplus versus eating your maintenance calories versus eating in a deficit. Yes. So if you want to, and this whole bulking and cutting thing, but how much lean muscle can you realistically gain in a year?
Yeah, so the newer you are to strength training, the more muscle you can gain, and then it exponentially drops in rate the more advanced you get. Yeah. So a lot of people have this idea. It's like, okay, so they have this magical idea. I'm going to gain 6 kilos of muscle in 6 months. All right. So they'll have a slow bulk to minimize the fat gain and gain maybe 1 kilo per month, which is considered conservative for a bulk. And I always ask them, like, do you honestly think you're gaining 6 kilos of muscle in like half a year? I mean, people are enhanced and on steroids don't even gain that much. You know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are, man? Like, most of it is going to be fat. Most of it is going to be fat. Yeah. So my suggestion for the vast majority of people who are interested in body composition goals is, one is find a body weight that you feel comfortable and you feel good in and you can perform well in the gym, maintain it, and then just slowly over time improve on your body composition. That is my suggestion to most people.
And what do you think, like realistically, how much lean muscle do you gain like in a year? Like, realistically,
they have
like, is it like 1 kilo a year or something crazy?
No. Like, what is it? In your lifetime, they have this idea where it's somewhere up to like 50 pounds of muscle in your lifetime as a natural person. So that might be like 20-ish kilos of muscle at most, like at the very most. Yeah. Is highly dependent on genetics, highly dependent on the rate of muscle gain, but also the limit that you have with muscle growth is dependent on your genetics. So there's this idea of outliers, right? So 95% of people sit in the middle and are just average and can gain X amount of muscle, but there's those 2.5% of freaks out there that gain muscle at a rate that is almost close to somebody who's enhanced, but they are in fact natural. Right. And then there's 2.5% of people who have unfortunately chosen the wrong parents. So sorry, I don't mean that in a... That's a bit too harsh, but it's funny.
Amer is very harsh. That's what you needed a trainer though. Like, he will tell me off. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get, in the ways like I need a husband to tell me off, and he's just so passive. I get in the gym and Amer is like, what the fuck? Why weren't you at training?
Like the Leo season bullshit.
Fuck Leo season.
Drinking alcohol all the time and So I get fed up with some of these things, but that's only because I care.
Yes, he cares. And then with bulking and cutting, because that's a huge thing, but it's basically, I think as a girl, we already struggle so much with eating. I think the best thing you can do and the best maintenance you can do is just trying to eat your maintenance calories and get into that habit of eating maintenance calories. And that's what I do. So I just eat my maintenance calories and I try and hit 100 grams of protein every day. I don't always hit that, but usually I do. I'm pretty good about it. Rockabees. But people ask what I eat. I don't eat. I'm not out here eating like that healthy. I have every morning I wake up and I have a double scoop protein shake with carb powder. And creatine.
Let's talk about the carbs.
I take creatine, carbs as well. So you have to. This was one thing I remember showing up to the gym with Amer like the first time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, have you eaten?" And I'm like, "No," and he's like, "What the fuck? Like you haven't. You have to you have to eat carbs before you train. So it's like this huge misconception with girls. Everyone trains fasted. Maybe even with cardio, do you think you would train fasted?
You can train fasted with cardio,
but not with weight training.
No, with weight training, you actually rely on the glycogen that comes from carbs for muscular contractions, for lifting the actual weight. If any of you have trained on an empty stomach and felt dizzy, yeah, that's because you need some carbs in you. You know,
exactly.
There's a reason why a lot of gyms have like jelly beans under the counter. It's just because one of you assholes who didn't eat carbs is gonna pass out. They put the jelly bean in your mouth and voila.
Have an oat matcha. Yeah, anything. Yeah, you've got those rice cakes. Oh my God, we were training and I think I must have been like waiting on energy or something.
Oh yeah. Rice cakes.
You pull out the rice cakes. He's like, eat one of these.
Salt and vinegar rice cakes. So many carbs.
Shoving it down.
So you're going
and then I did a much better squat.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
But like going back to your point, there is no special diet. Foods don't inherently have a special magical quality to them. So just because you eat eggs doesn't mean you're going to grow exponential amounts of muscle. I don't eat eggs and I don't eat seafood. I don't like eggs. I don't like seafood. I still gain muscle. So there is no special quality to foods. So my suggestion...
You just need a Rockabilly's every day.
Rockabilly's is something I enjoy.
It's this protein shake that like we all love it. Like it's so yummy. So I try. So I have my protein shake in the morning. So I guess technically I probably most of the time skip breakfast.
Yeah.
So that's probably something that does bring my calories down. And then I don't restrict lunch and dinner. I pretty much just eat my cravings. I do try and get some form of like protein in, like have like a piece of salmon or something. But like if I want Betty's Burgers, like I'll eat Betty's Burgers. Yeah. Afternoon, usually have like a Rockabilly's or like a protein yogurt. And then dinner, I just eat like what I want. But I think I eat in small portions. I don't eat past the point of being full. And that's something that's always helped. And I don't want to get too much. That's why I don't answer too many questions about diet, because I am very aware about eating disorders and everything, and I don't want to perpetuate anything. But at the end of the day, it's just maintenance calories and protein.
I also explain to people like your output determines your input. So if you move more, you have a much bigger calorie budget to work with. So if you are a person who wants to have more freedom with your food, like quite simply, you're just going to have to move more. Walk more. Like start simple. Like most people don't even get 6,000 steps a day. I try to average close to 20,000 because I'm maintaining a lighter body weight for my
doing 20,000 steps a day.
I know most people are not going to go 20,000 steps, but the difference is because I do 20,000 steps a day, because I do cardio and wrestling and, weight training, this and that, and I move a lot, I can eat quite a lot of food for my body weight.
Yeah.
I can eat way more calories and maintain my body weight than the average person that's my weight. And I enjoy that. I feel like I perform better in the gym as a result of eating more food.
But also, like, I don't move a whole lot. And so,
so you can't eat a lot.
No, yeah. But also, I found that, like, my diet didn't really change. Like, my calories didn't change when I started training. And then, so I did drop weight without even, like, consciously trying to drop weight, just by still eating my maintenance calories and like, starting strength training. So I think I dropped, like, 3 or 4 kilos.
Yeah. And I mean, look, muscle inherently helps you burn more calories at rest.
Yeah.
Now, does it help you dramatically burn more calories? No, but it's also the fact that you got into the habit of going to the gym. So naturally, that just means you're moving more. You're used to just moving more. You're walking to the gym, walking back home, etc. You're actually subconsciously getting more steps in, etc.
And I wish I would have done a DEXA scan before I started doing the strength training, because I'm at, like the last time I checked, which was like, when was that? Like February, March or something. I was like 18% body fat. I would have been like 100 before. Like
pure lards.
No muscle. No, I was like skinny fat. It's crazy. Going back to like Barry's and Pilates and everything and using like those little weights and everything. And I realized that Barry's is just an hour. I'll talk so much shit about Barry's right now. It is just like an hour of killing yourself. If you, for cardio reasons, whatever. But like I used to go to Barry's, I just picked the little like 4-kilo dumbbells, and then you're doing every single exercise with those 4-kilo dumbbells. You're doing shoulder presses, you're doing curls, you're doing like flat, you're doing everything. And then starting to work out with Amer and realizing weight training has been maybe one of the, I don't want to say the easiest workouts I've ever done. It's pretty easy. It's not something like those last couple reps are hard, but you're doing like 3 or 4 where it's really hard and you're dying, and then you get a little rest.
The goal of strength training is quite simply to get stronger over time. And to do that, you have to train within a reasonable amount of volume that you can recover from.
Yeah.
There's this idea of training hard versus training smart.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you have to train hard and you have to be relatively close to failure and increase the volume and weights over time. Yes, and that is difficult. But strength training relative to like sport training or even like just general classes is actually exponentially easier.
Yeah.
It's exponentially easier. You can rest longer. You can, if you need more time, you can warm up longer. You're in control of more of the variables. You can adjust the exercises. You're not forced to do any one thing. You can always adapt. Barry's is like, this is what we're going to do. And you just, try to survive.
And
Good luck. Good luck.
And then people pass out.
Yeah, people pass
People
out.
walk out of the class. It's not fun.
Also, the reason why these classes fail to actually get you stronger and build a noticeable amount of muscle is because there is no notion of progressive overload. You go to a class, it's random exercises every single session. There is no form of progression. To actually progress, you must do the same shit over and over again. It's simple. Same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
That's it.
You also adapt it very, very well. So Amer is very good about adapting things like that need differently. So like I have implants, like so I can't do certain chest workouts or things that we've like adapted to be doing differently, or if we need to like work on one thing more.
That's the beauty of just strength training in general, is we're in control of all the variables. If we're getting knee pain during a squat, we can take away the stability requirement and do a Hatfield squat. We can do this and that. Like there's many ways to modify an exercise to make it more appropriate for you depending on how recovered you are and how you're feeling on the day, so that you can still get a stimulus and train hard.
Having a coach is obviously not accessible to everyone because it is expensive, but also finding a good coach is impossible. So I found Amer. Amer was training my husband, and it was just like Lucas. Oh my God,
he's pretty fucking jacked now,
Jesus
isn't he?
Christ! My husband, he used to do like cycling, and then all of a sudden, I remember he was like walking like one day, and I was like, where did you get that booty from? Like what the hell? All of a sudden he's so jacked, and that was after like only like a year of working out with you. It's crazy. Like the results don't lie. I've never had results like this with my body. And people always talk about like toning and shredding and wanting to tone and wanting to tone and needing to do high reps, low weights to tone. I think like I'm proof that if you look at my before and afters, I have toned so incredibly much from doing low reps, heavy weights.
There is a place for all rep ranges, and all rep ranges can build muscle, but most people need to first focus on the basics, which is just get stronger. You just need to get stronger because you need to meet the requirement of progressive overload, and different exercises are more suitable for different rep ranges. So just blindly just doing the same reps for every single exercise is stupid.
Yeah.
Like why should you go 3 to 5 reps on a leg extension? That shit is just going to wreck your knees. When 3 to 5 reps or low reps on a squat will help you get stronger. It will help you focus on movement quality without feeling like you're dying. But once you're sitting on a leg extension machine, you're fucking locked in. You can't fuck it up that much. So you can go high reps. You can go all the way to failure and get a pump. So there is a place for all these rep ranges, So
Amer, you train a lot of females.
Yes. Actually, I think majority of my clients, especially
females.
The new clients that I'm seeing, are females.
And females train very differently to men. So the difference, you say they recover faster.
Yeah, actually, it's not that they train differently. It's in fact that they just they have a higher work capacity and can recover faster. So I actually just make them do more.
Because you did that ABC thing where they were like, how do you treat females different to men? You were like, I don't.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that answer.
But that's one thing that you always say, because I always like when I'm recommending Amer to everyone, you find so many male trainers, oh my God, who just, they're such dicks and they're so creepy, and they come in, they have like no idea what they're talking about. And you say you saw that also because didn't you used to work somewhere else and you used to see other trainers who would like train people for like 30 minutes at a time or something, and then those people, you saw no progress in their clients at all.
I've seen 30-minute training sessions which involve the first 10 minutes of just warming up on a treadmill, 10 minutes of sitting on a machine, 10 minutes of talking. And I'm like, that's a joke. Like when we train, you come into the gym, we go straight out,
we
straight at it.
We do so much in an hour.
We do so much fucking work in an hour. Because my motto is more.
Yeah.
Like, do fucking more. As I said, most people don't do enough. Do fucking more. And how about this? Like even on your shit days when you don't feel like training, you can still stomach coming to the gym and weight training. But Barry's, that might have been something like near impossible to do.
No, I honestly say is that even with Pilates, sometimes I'm like, God, I can't be fucked going. How many of us have booked in all those classes and then woken up and been like, fuck that, and we don't go? I have literally, like, I never do that with weight training, because I actually look forward to going. It's not something that I resent going to. I don't walk up thinking like, oh my God, this is about to suck.
I think you enjoy the same thing that I enjoy the most is the physical changes in the body, which are very visible, especially while you train.
Yeah, you get addicted.
You get a little bit addicted.
You know what? And then you lose the muscle. That is one thing that's annoying, is that if you don't keep up with training and you train regularly, you do lose the muscle very quickly. So that's one thing that if you miss a session, you just know that like you're going to go backwards. And me, like I'm trying to grow my booty. I'm trying to get things done. So I can't be missing sessions. But you do get addicted to like seeing that muscle growing and seeing when we look, because we take videos obviously, and like I post a lot of the content. If you want to like go to my Instagram or my TikTok, you can see a lot of it. And even just to like you film clients, just to like show them the techniques. And when we start from the start versus now when we watch those videos back, and now all of a sudden we can see all the way, like holy shit, look at the sky. My back looks crazy. But some people, we wanted to touch on this, is that some people would look at that and be like, oh, I don't want to look like that.
That's overdone.
That's too muscular. Guys, I'm not walking around in my day-to-day looking like that. When I'm at the gym and I've got a pump and we're on our second set and I'm actively working
the muscles
out.
Look, when you're walking, the muscles are not contracting like that, first of all. So just relax. Secondly, we have a pump. So we have blood into the muscles. The muscles look bigger than they actually are, but they will return to a relatively normal state. Just, so it's not overdone when you're outside of the gym. When you're inside of the gym, it can look freakish.
It can look freakish and crazy.
Especially like in the right lighting and that sort of stuff with the pump.
But I love it. I love it now. I love it now.
I wish I could walk around pumped all the time,
I know.
to be honest.
But then now when I'm in an outfit, or if I'm like going out to an event and I'm in a dress and stuff and I turn around, like I've just got like this really nice toning and it's amazing.
It's aesthetic. It's visually pleasing to look at.
So aesthetic. So aesthetic. And that is that's what people want. So you get that all the time where they come in now and they're like, okay, I want to look like this. I want to look like this is the body because they're so used to seeing those girls in the gym who are bulking. And so I think girls get really scared about looking at the muscle mummies and, slay muscle mummies, like you're fucking killing it, but not everyone obviously wants that. It's like that big and bulky look. And so that really does, I think, deter people from strength training, and it doesn't have to be like that. If you eat in a surplus and you bulk, then you will end up looking like that. But if you just eat maintenance calories, or even you don't even have to eat in a deficit.
I approach it the same way as I approach any new venture. Or like when I started wrestling, I would just keep my mouth shut, and if I get my ass whooped, that's okay. But I'm there to learn, and I respect what they tell me, and I do what they say. That should be a given.
But that's what I do. I think like I literally just blindly listen to Amer, and I do whatever he says.
I have your best interests at heart.
And
I don't have my own fucking agenda. You know what I mean? Like I actually care about people. To be honest, I love people. I have a background in fucking psychology, so I like to help people.
That's true. Let's talk about that. So how did you start? Like
So like when I came,
how'd you get your start?
I have both an undergrad and an honors degree, so I have done actually a dissertation on mental toughness of all things. I feel
not one person surprised.
so that kind of naturally made me want to gravitate to working with athletes, because I really look up to athletes. I look up to their mental toughness, to their resilience, to their capability of like being able to really control their focus and attention, be motivated, be competitive. So I love the gym. I love getting stronger. I love working with people and helping people. You put 2 and 2 together, bam, I started working at Adonis, and and that's how I'm here.
But I think that does help, and I think you really care about people progressing as well, and just like really looking at someone as such a specimen of like each little muscle group in their body, how to improve each little one. Like the way that you view it is so differently.
The beautiful thing about people, there's just so much untapped potential, and they have no idea what they can look like if they actually do the work for it. And so really my mindset is actually, like, believe it or not, when I train somebody and I coach people, I get stressed more than the other person, because in my mind I always have a minimum requirement of all the things I want this person to do within that time frame, and I want them to work as much as possible so that they can develop this, develop that. I want them to be their ideal selves.
It's like every time I miss a session, Amer is like, fuck!
Yes, it pisses me off. It pisses me because I see the potential, the genetics. I'm like, fuck it.
Elle, you could be like, so I know.
Like the equivalent of a Greek god, you know what I mean? Like, so.
And we love Amer's not single, by the way, so everyone can relax because we get this a lot as well. No, we love Sarah. You've had a girlfriend. You've been together for how long?
So it's close to 2 years now.
Wow.
Close to 2 years. And she's the very opposite of me. She's a yoga girl.
She's complete opposite, which is hilarious.
She hates weight training. hates, but loves the results of weight training. She loves the results.
She loves her man. She loves her man. No, but I love her so much. She's so sweet. She's like so quiet.
Yeah.
She's
Very
so
introverted,
cute.
quiet.
Very introverted. I feel like you need that though. It's like the opposite. It's like same with me and Lucas. It's like we're very, we're complete opposites. It's like I feel like you and I are more the same, and then like Lucas and Sarah are more the same.
I think like if there's two people who are like too similar to themselves, especially if they're like us, it's too chaotic.
Oh god,
way too chaotic.
You should see just us in the gym, like as friends. You know what I mean? It's like fucking.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit, that's for sure. Yeah. Whereas like with my girlfriend, I have to be a little bit more censored and think about things and,
which
be a bit more gentle. And
Yeah.
It has a balance. Everything in life balance.
We're taking it off, guys. Yeah, so anyways, Amer helped me become a fitness influencer.
Yes? Did you ever think that would happen?
No! I've like never been. It's so funny. And it's like once I actually started getting shredded, only like a couple months into us working out, like all of a sudden I'm getting invited to all these fitness events and all these like working with fitness brands and stuff as well and everything. Like, and it's so fun and it's so funny because I just never ever thought that I'd be a fitfluencer. So this is another one of my errors, guys. This is one thing. I'm gonna jump on Instagram really quick and see if I can get a couple questions. Best glute routine. So this is the we haven't even touched on glutes.
Oh, yeah,
girls
abs,
only care about glutes. So guys, I've been trying to grow my glutes, but I'm bad at eating. So that's like where I struggle. And I think it's like it also depends on your body type as well.
Yes, no, so I was gonna say that genetically, where you grow muscle, the rate of muscle growth is gonna largely depend on your genetics, and your shape is gonna largely depend on your genetics. Not to say that you can build muscle in certain areas. It's just important, first of all, that you work within your own, you have a realistic idea of what your own body can look like, and you don't copy somebody else, because your shape is your shape and another person's shape is another person's shape. When you weight train, you just enhance your shape. So you really need to accept that. But basically, to build muscle in the glutes, we always still focus on just building on the basics. You're squatting, you're deadlifting, we do your lunges, we do your hip thrusts, we do your RDLs.
Single leg, the single leg ones are very important, right?
Squats, yes, exactly. Back
anything
extensions.
that exaggerates that stretch in the glute.
Correct.
Isn't that right?
In general, like
muscle. And what's that crazy one, the reverse hypers?
Oh, the reverse hyper extend, the West Side barbell machine.
My God, this is this crazy machine that you lay on it and like your legs go underneath and you put weights on it and you basically just like swing your legs out.
Yeah, it looks like a crazy like BDSM table or some shit. You know what I mean? Like you're hooked, strapped up on the thing, and then it's like you swing like a pendulum.
But that's what Lucas contributes his booty to. He's got like seriously, my husband's butt went from being like inverted to like huge shelf bubble butt. It is crazy.
So, but let's put it this way. So his training is not entirely different to your training, but his butt grew so much. See, that is an example of genetics. That is an example of genetics. So
lean muscle snack ideas. I'm trying to get 100 grams protein daily. Skinny girl problems. Okay, well that's exactly me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Rockabies.
Rockabies. Chobani Fit yogurt.
Chobani Fit yogurts. The salted caramel one is really nice. There's also another. If you're skinny girl problems, so you're not worried about calories. There's this really good yogurt that's like a protein yogurt, but it's not like the no sugar.
Is it like a protein pudding?
It's like it's delicious. It's like one of those ones that's like actually yummy. So it's like got extra protein, but it's like no sugar, no calories, nothing else. So it's actually yummy.
Yeah, if you have a sweet tooth like me,
protein bars.
I would go for like something like a protein ice cream. So a Jim Buds or a Halo Top ice cream, which you can buy at Woolworths. They're generally like a whole tub of them is only about 300-ish calories, but have 20 grams of protein.
The Rockabies comes in ones that have caffeine in them as well. Yeah. It's amazing. So I love that in the afternoon with like a little caffeine hit.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it should be something that you can
a little protein yogurt.
Just in like 2 minutes, again, just like a protein bar, protein shake. It's really simple. Like have your normal diet, just add in a few, a bar or two or a shake or two and bam, that's it. Like just keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just keep it simple.
There are these really yummy protein bars that are like those cookie dough ones, and they are like Mars bars. They have like caramel inside.
Is it the BSC ones?
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking good.
They're so good.
Yeah.
What's everyone's biggest mistake when it comes to training?
Trying to change their workouts every single time they're in the gym, and actually not just doing the same shit, which are the basics, over and over and over again, and trying to progress in those basics.
Yeah.
Because if you change the stimulus every single time, you don't give your body a chance to actually adapt to anything. So you're not training, okay, you're working out, but you're not creating any adaptations, so you don't make progress. So basically, let's focus on the basics, do it, rinse and repeat, and get stronger over time.
And what would you say is our basic like training routine? Like what are we doing?
So it's actually
so
quite,
what are our
simple.
main exercises that we do?
It's quite simple. Like honestly, we don't make it complicated. So we'll have a day where the session revolves around the squat, and we'll have another day where the session revolves around the deadlift, and then we will do accessory exercises that target individual muscle groups and that can help your squat or help your deadlift.
And what are those so what are the accessory exercises that help the squat?
So I know that you, for example, struggle to develop, I mean, you have longer legs, so you will always, based on your squat mechanics, means you have to always squat with more of a forward lean. So any kind of squat that forces you to be a lot more upright and allow your knees to travel forwards.
Knees can travel forward. This is a huge thing. We see this all the time with girls, and like with being told that your knees cannot travel past your ankles and that you have to lean back on your heels.
Yes.
That is like the worst way to squat.
That is really dumb. Yeah. Yes. So in a squat in general, first of all, you want to always think about controlling your center of mass and being even through your feet. So you never want to put all the weight on your heels and sit back, okay? So that's number one. But number two is, if you want to have a nice looking squat, a deep squat, and you actually want to load your quads, which is the prime mover in a squat, your knees must travel forwards. So this is the reason why we do a lot of the goblet squats on a slant board.
Yeah.
So it's it's an artificially raised heel.
Where I'm holding a big dumbbell
to go all the fucking way forwards. And we basically get to train the quads in the end range.
And that's why I finally have quad muscles, guys.
Yes. Basically, yes.
That's literally it.
And so squats. So we do our goblet squats on a slant board. We do some leg extensions. We do some split squats. Sometimes I'll make you do a front foot elevated split squat so I can get you used to forcing your knees forward. Sometimes we do with a Bulgarian split squat. But generally, if I notice in the movement pattern that you're restricting your knee travel, I will bias the front foot elevated split squat and just make you push your knees all the way forwards.
So he's constantly adapting in every little thing. That is the 100%. That's the best thing.
Yeah. And then like with your deadlift, if I notice that you're not using your quads off the floor, I'll give you some deficit deadlifts. If you struggle with lockout, I'll really build the posterior chain. So with the RDLs, etc., etc. And then I always focus on other muscles that make you look aesthetic, so like your shoulders, like your lats.
We love the shoulders. We love the couch shoulders.
Side lateral raises are very important.
We always do the side lats.
Yeah, very important exercise to look aesthetic. We love
the bent over rows.
We love doing and chin ups and anything that improves the width and the broadness of your body and your shoulders. We love doing that sort of stuff. Arms is aesthetic as well.
So people talk about like the toned Pilates arms, and like there's a big thing about Miley Cyrus and stuff. You get that from like heavy weight training,
like
the toned arms.
We do our heavy chin-ups that help you develop the biceps, and we do like a heavy overhead military pressing that help you develop also your triceps, obviously, other muscles too. And then we just focus a small part of our workout at the end to isolate those muscle groups.
Oh, does your husband get insecure about you, like about us training together? No, because I think because you train him too. And Amer is one of the most respectful people ever.
Actually, I would say Lucas is like probably one of my closest friends.
Yeah, you guys are great friends.
Yeah, he's one of my closest friends. I love the guy.
And all three of us are friends.
Like guys and girls can be friends. Like fucking hell.
I mean, I don't know. I have different views.
It's not that hard, man.
How many days a week do you recommend? So I started out doing 2.
Yes.
For a really long time. I only did 2 full body sessions. We'd cram a lot into those sessions.
Yes.
And when did I add a 3rd session? Like January, February?
It was
like
maybe
6 months ago.
Yes, yeah, correct. Correct. Yeah. And look, so basically the results are obviously better, more, right? So 3 times a week plus ideal. So I would say for most people, getting in 3 times a week is going to be the ideal scenario. 4 times a week is amazing.
Yeah.
But 3 times a week is ideal. Twice a week is bare minimum. And like, it's very important. If you're training twice a week, you better fucking do a lot of work during those sessions. Like,
that's the only reason we got away with it is because we did so much work. And also I do have good genetics. Do you think looks matter more than personality?
What does that have to do with the gym?
I don't know. People are just asking you all those questions now. No. I think that it all rolls in together in one package.
Everything matters.
But you're not just at the gym for looks. Like getting the aesthetic the body changes and everything obviously is a huge plus and it's a huge part of it, but it helps my mental health so much. And it's also like just the progress you get from weightlifting is very different to doing anything else. So the way that like you move up in weights like quite quickly, I think like kind of each week you can get stronger and like moving.
It's addicting.
It's a good, because the payoff, it's a really good fast payoff. Anyways, guys, so that concludes this episode of Elfluential. Thank you, Amer, for coming on.
My pleasure.
Guys, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Amer is, he's the Sultan of Games. Oh my God, we never even talked about it. He is the Sultan. So his Instagram thing is the Sultan of Games. And all my friends always joke about, they're like, we need to get in and see the Sultan.
Yeah. Well, if you want to see the Sultan, you know, I'm at Adonis in Paddington, 385 Oxford Street. And look, it's good for all of you that are on the fence about training. We do a 3-day free trial at our gym. So if you wanted to just try and see what it's like being in a strength gym, you know, please make yourself welcome.
And what's your Instagram handle? It's
at Sultan of Gains. Sultan_of_gains.
Yeah, at Sultan_of_gains.
Yes.
And I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Elfluential. Bye! Thanks for joining me on this episode of Elfluential. If you're enjoying the show, hit the follow for future episodes. Plus, you can find me on socials. I'm at Elle_Eastern Suburbs Mum on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm Elle Salagaris on YouTube. XOXO, Elle.